Hello guys, great to see you again. Today, we are delving into the minor scale. Before we dive in, let's add a bit more detail about scale degrees. As a quick recap, in music, we name the steps of a scale with fancy names, and the three most crucial ones are tonic, dominant, and subdominant. Think of tonic as the main note, dominant as a fifth degree above, and subdominant as a fifth degree below. We also represent them with Roman numerals like tonic, I, dominant, V, and subdominant, IV. Moving on to the mediant, third, and submediant, VI. The mediant is a third above the tonic, and the submediant is a third below the tonic. Finally, the supertonic and leading tone are the second degrees above and below the tonic, respectively. When you spot big Roman numerals, I, IV, V, it's all about major. These represent major scale degrees. For instance, in a major key, I, tonic, IV, subdominant, and V, dominant, bring in major chords. On the flip side, small Roman numerals, tertu, third, V, mean it's minor time. They represent minor scale degrees. So, in a major key, tri, supertonic, third, mediant, and VI, submediant, are all about the minor chords. The key difference lies in the quality of the chords associated with these scale degrees. In a major key, the tonic, I, subdominant, IV, and dominant, V, are major chords, creating a bright and happy sound. In contrast, in a minor key, the supertonic, tescu, mediant, third, and submediant, V, are minor chords, contributing to a more subdued or melancholic atmosphere. We will delve deeper into this topic when we cover chords. But for now, let's move on to our main topic, the minor scale. First of all, it's crucial to understand that nearly every type of scale finds its roots in the major scale, and the minor scale is no exception. It's essentially 3 half steps different from the C major scale. So we can say that A minor is like the sibling of C major because they share the same notes and also have the same key signature. In this case, no sharps or flats. And it goes both ways. C major is like the big brother or sister of a minor. Because of this similarity, we refer to the minor scale as a relative minor scale. Now, let's explore the circle of fifths. In the case of minor keys, the cycle operates on the same principle, but it starts with a minor. This is because a minor, like C major, has no sharps or flats in its key signature. Therefore, we refer to them as natural C major and natural A minor. Additionally, we know that both C major and A minor scales have specific patterns. Major scales consistently follow the pattern WWWHWWWH. Conversely, natural minor scales have a different sequence WHWWHWW. In the key of a natural minor, the notes would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, following the pattern of whole and half steps. These patterns come from something called mode, which is the same as a scale. The term mode was more popular in the Greek and medieval periods until the early Renaissance. Over time, mode transformed into scale, and now we use scale more often. This is the reason why we have a Greek name for each mode. Let me show you each one. Ionian starts with a C note, and we play the white keys. So, Ionian mode is the same as the C major scale. In fact, the entire major scale is referred to as the Ionian mode. For instance, if I play these notes, from a scale point of view, it's D major scale because the root note starts with D. But from a mode point of view, it's Ionian mode because it follows the pattern WWWHWWWH. That's the difference between scale and mode. And the name Ionian is derived from the region of Ionia, an ancient Greek colony in Asia Minor. Then there's Dorian, where we play the white keys in order, known as the Dorian pattern. The name Dorian comes from one of the main ethnic groups in ancient Greece, followed by Phrygian, named after the ancient kingdom of Phrygia. Lydian is named after the ancient region of Lydia in Asia Minor. The Mixolydian mode is often linked to a musician from around 7th century BC near Lesbos Island and is connected to lyric poetry, especially that of Sappho. Mixolydian gets its name from the prefix mixo, meaning mixed. This term is used because it shares some similarities with the Lydian mode. Aeolian, named after the region of Aeolia. Aeolian mode is the same as a minor scale. And lastly, Locrian, named after the region of Locris. So these are the modes. Now, what's the difference between mode and scale? Essentially, they mean the same thing. Mode was more popular in the Greek period until the early Renaissance. But as Western music evolved, especially during the Baroque and Classical periods, we started using scale more. Mode focuses on specific patterns of whole and half steps, showing natural notes, while scale focuses more on tonality. For instance, the root note C defines the C major scale and expresses emotion. Major scales are recognized for their happy or positive sound, while minor scales are known for their gloomy and melancholy tones. I want to clarify, I'm not saying the minor scale is bad in music. It's more complicated than that. Even though the minor scale often gives a somewhat sad vibe, it can make the music better when combined with other elements. It's like pure water being bad for fish because it lacks minerals. So finding the right balance with these minor scales can be a bit tricky. That's why we have 3 types of minor scales to blend well with other musical notes. So there are 3 types of minor scales: natural, harmonic, and melodic minor scales. If there's no key signature, we call it the natural minor scale. The natural minor scale uses only the tones of the relative major scale. The harmonic minor scale raises the 7th tone, G, by a half step ascending and descending. The melodic minor scale raises the 6th, F, and 7th, G, tones by a half step ascending. The descending scale is the same as the natural minor. Learning about different minor scales helps musicians express various emotions in their music. Knowing when to use each scale enhances a musician's ability to make informed choices in composing and performing, expanding their toolbox for creating diverse and emotive music. This time, let's wrap up by exploring the pentatonic scale. Unlike the major and minor scales that use 7 keys, the pentatonic scale uses just 5. It's a simple and versatile 5-note musical scale used in many cultures and genres. In Western music, we get the most common pentatonic scale by taking away the 4th and 7th degrees from the major scale, following a pattern of WW3W3. Whole step, minor third, whole step, minor third. Now, there are 2 main types of pentatonic scales, major and minor. For the major pentatonic scale, we use the root, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and 6th degrees of the major scale. Its pattern is WW3W3. For the minor pentatonic scale, we use the root, minor 3rd, 4th, 5th, and minor 7th degrees of the natural minor scale. Its pattern is 3W-W-3W. Both pentatonic scales have 5 notes, offering a concise and versatile set of pitches. They're widely used in music for melodies, solos, and improvisation. The major pentatonic scale often gives a more uplifting vibe, while the minor pentatonic scale has a bluesy or soulful quality, making them important tools for musicians in various styles. So now is the perfect time to organize what we've learned so far. In music theory, scales are distinguished by the number of keys or notes played. For instance, the chromatic scale uses 12 keys. Major and minor scales each use a total of 7 notes, known as diatonic scales. If we use a 5-note scale, it's called a pentatonic scale. Each scale has a specific pattern. For the major scale, the natural form follows the pattern WWHWWWH. And for the minor scale, the natural form follows the pattern WHWWHWW. These whole step and half step patterns are inherent in the construction of scales, including modes. Modes are essentially variations of scales, and while scales emphasize tonality, modes focus on different arrangements of whole and half steps. Minor scales come in 3 types: natural minor, melodic minor, and harmonic minor. That's enough for today. Thank you for watching. We're almost done with music theory, so stay tuned. I've noticed more people subscribing to my channel, and I appreciate it. I'll continue to simplify complex topics for you. Thanks again for your support, and see you next time.